How's it going, guys? Welcome back. So, I'm going to start a new series. This is from zero to live. Going to do everything I can to get to a live account on TopStep, basically. Take you guys through the step-by-step process every single day, all of my trades. So, for the combine portion, I will probably rush it a little bit. As you see today, I got halfway. So, definitely over leveraged in a sense. But when I take my funded trades, I don't go as heavy, have proper risk management. So slight differentiations in terms of that aspect when I'm trading on my live account or my funded accounts. But on the combines and test accounts, typically go a little heavier. So as you guys can see my executions here, I entered in 20 MNQ here, added 20 over here on the pullback, and exited 40 up here. And I'll show you guys exactly why I took this trade, what the setup was, and how this repeats every single day. Every day, and it happens every 4 hours, right? So this essentially was a trade. I actually started the entry here, but I just kept dragging and readjusting this. But the original entry, right, I believe is like somewhere around here. And I had my stop right there. And my original top take profit was, I think it was 415. Something like that. Alright, so I don't think my stop is actually that low. Delete that. Let's see. Stop. Definitely was closer. Let's see. It was around like a 4.5 RR. Because I was risking 1,000. There we go. I was risking 1,000 to make 4,500. Then when we had that pullback, I entered again, and that's why I was able to bring my take profit all the way down here, right? And I dragged it further, and then it didn't hit my stops and like had the pullback, entered, and then as soon as it left this chop zone and went up there, I moved my stop into profit. But yeah, that was essentially the trade area I entered. So this averaged around 302, I believe was the. Oh yeah, so actually I entered way below. This was like my original entry price, 302. Take profit was at 415 and 4.5 RR, something like that, right? And then when I re-entered here, it brought my average right around there. And that's why I moved my stop up here and made it closer, obviously. Would take profit like around there. Something like that. But I'm going to go over why I took what I took. So I have these two indicators here, right? TA helper and this is analyst by DGT. They're kind of like bias givers. So if you go in the 4 hour, what I do typically every day is right before 10 a.m. I'll go in the 4 hour and I'll just wait to see what these are leaning towards. And obviously also look at structure. So as we see, we're going higher, and we have the yearly high coming up soon. So we haven't touched that yet. But the prior 6 a.m. candle was bullish, and the 2 a.m. 4 hour candle kind of looked like a rejection candle, right? So that's why I was going towards that bull bias. Then we see market opens, right? And what does it do? It kind of just chops at first, 9:30, 9:45, and then we go, and we're waiting till 10, right? So 9:30 opens, and it's just like chopping the same area. Then we have 10 a.m. open right here. And so I'm going to draw, but I need the color to stand out. I don't want green. We're going to change that. I think red would pop out. Good. All right, so 10 a.m. opens right here, right? And we go down. And we see it chop a little bit and immediately flip up. So, and we see it start to reject that open price level. Now, if you guys are wondering what does any of that mean, basically, every candle, right, has a wick. If you look at every candle, they all have wicks, a top wick and a bottom wick. So what we are doing is we're waiting for the brand new 4 a.m. or 4 hour candle to open, and we're watching where it moves and how it moves, and we're seeing a wick get created initially. Once that wick is created, we want to see it go back, test the open price, and see, all right, is it making another wick on the other side to continue back, or is it that was the main wick and now we're going further? So there's open high low close and there's open low high close. There are um two ways that you would basically trade and determine whether or not you want a bull or a bear bias. So because the indicators are telling me bull and it originally opened lower, I had the bias that it's going to go up and create the uh, bull candle. We also see this price as it was rejecting right here was the previous day high. So that also gave me indication that we want to go back up and at least retest that open, right? So I have this indicator. You just see longs being spammed. It's where is it? I kind of made this on my own. It literally is just for my own sake, but I put in the bias I create, whether it's bull, bear, whatever, and it kind of tells me where some high volume trades might be. So they're not like this indicator is really not accurate at all. But I try to find displacement, so something that proves that, all right, it's a good spot to enter long. Now, shockingly, this is where I entered long. I don't know what these are. These are kind of useless indications. But that I believe this is exactly where I entered long. And then, like I said, 415 was my original take profit. Let's see, something like that. Um, yeah, and reason being was I entered long here. We see inverse for value gap rejects right off of that previous day high, and strong bullish volume, strong momentum going. And we know that this right here is the 4-hour open. So I knew it would at least get there. And what happens there? It arrives at the 4-hour open. I need to change this back to red. There we go. It arrives at the 4-hour open price and it starts rejecting and showing that it wants to go higher. See that? So that shows to me that we want to keep going higher. And it was good confidence. And what happens here, right? Big drop at the 4-hour open price. We have our stop set in place, right? When you enter a trade, you want to predetermine a loss in a sense. That way you don't have that emotion or the negative connotation with a red trade or a losing trade. If you enter a trade and the risk you take is what you're willing to lose, and you can just say, okay, I took this trade, I lost $1,000 today. Then if you take the winning trade and you make $2,000-$3,000, congratulations, you won. You take the loss, all right, it was destined, it was predetermined. So we see this happen right here. And as soon as I see this and it bounces right, I believe that is the previous 4-hour high, the previous 4-hour midpoint right here, and then it kind of bounces at that open as well. That is where I added in 2 more contracts. Now, like I said, normally I'm not going as aggressive in my XFAs or my live accounts, but in combines and test accounts, it does not make a difference. I prefer passing these quicker. So I added in and moved my take profit to, I believe it was 74.75, as that gave me my 4,500, which is what I need. And it worked out and took profit. Now, I do want to say that, so when you are taking these trades, right, because we, like, I like to target high levels. For example, we stuck with the original and we targeted 415. Now, 415 really wouldn't be a proper take profit because there's no key level here, right? You could target previous 4-hour high, right? That gives you 2.5 RR. Perfect. You want to target yearly open, go ahead, target yearly open. But when you're doing these, you want to use partials. So you want to take partials at certain levels. That way you're not, it's not going up, right? And then rejecting and getting you stopped out, right? So that essentially is the trade I took today and the reason I took it. And as we can see, right? And I'm actually gonna just show you guys that it literally happens every single day. So I go back to yesterday, I'm gonna replay. We're gonna go to 9:55 or whatever. That's fine, right? And we'll go forward to 1 bar. Go to the 4-hour time frame. Look at the bias. It's showing bull. Okay. But again, remember, we're not like married to these indicator biases, but it kind of does look bullish. Like it went up, has this huge gap in imbalance, and it's starting to like reject it. I'd probably want to see the previous or this Wednesday, April 8th low get taken, and then maybe if the bull bias is still strong, continue bullish, right? So we wait, and what is this? 10 a.m. opens right here, all right? So we see 10 a.m. open price, and it goes down, and it's starting to flip, right? Now we do see that it flips over, but all these like imbalances, right? So the real reason that I wouldn't have entered right away is like I mentioned, I want to see that previous low get taken, and then enter long, but also if it closes above, right, because it's so close and it's still basically ranging at that open price, when it closes above, you really want to see like a retest and continuation, right? So right now we're not seeing a retest and continuation at all. Now I believe it just swept that previous low, right? The one that we were talking about? No, it didn't. All right, I'm wrong. We'll continue. I believe this might be that low, or it's there. We'll see. But it did sweep something. There's a black level, but for some reason with this key level indicator, it doesn't really like tell you what it is when you're back testing. So let's see. All right. Now that is good. Strong move up, right? Strong displacement. We see it. There's this key level, whatever that is. So I'd really like. I don't know. There we go. Now we're back at the 4-hour open price, I believe, right? Right here. Yes. So we went down, created that low wick, went up, broke it. Now we're retesting. If I see a strong move up right now, I will enter. Not strong moves. Not strong moves, yeah. So really, the name of the game here is patience. Right? Absolutely patience. In order to win, you really need to sit on your hands, basically. Right there, beautiful entry, stop loss, take profit. Let's see, what's a nice key level up here? This green one, I believe that's like monthly open. I don't know. So it would have entered right there on that strong move up. Is also change state of delivery. Strong move up. We have all this accumulation going on over here. So let's see what happens. Right. Now, remember, we are risking here 42 points. So let's say at 42 points, you'd want to take some partials. So you would have taken some partials already. Boom. Look at that. Now, how many points is that? 100 points. So you would have been already above 2RR, right? Man, look at that. Oh, beauty, beauty, beauty. 4RR full TP taken, right? Now, what did we learn? One, happens every day. Happens every 4-hour candle. And patience is the name of the game. Sit on your hands and you will succeed. Just watch what happens, right? The market's there every day. You don't need to chase the market. The market is there for you. The market is always has money to give. The money is money to take and money to give. And it's your job as a trader to sit on your hands and try not to give the money, but to take the money. And all you need is practice and repetition, back testing, understanding where things go on, when to enter and when not to enter, how to know if you should be taking a trade, if you should be in a trade, proper risk management. These are all super important things I can dive deeper in the future. But for now, that is the trade of today. Showed you the trade yesterday. And yeah, so like I said, open high, low close, open low, high close. Pretty simple. There you go. See you guys on Monday.